Hey folks, welcome to our next exit. This here is our July 2020 monthly expense report that we put out every month, and it shows our expenses living the full-time RV lifestyle. I'm going to try to make this as quick as I can, so let me start by explaining the spreadsheet. This column here is the month of July 2020. It's everything we spent living this full-time RV lifestyle. Most of the expenses are related to RV lifestyle, but it's our regular groceries and everything else is right in here. This column is the last 12 months, the total of the last 12 months, what our expenses were. This column here is that 12-month total divided by 12 to give you our monthly average. And this column here, we've been living the full-time lifestyle for 38 months. So it's the total we spent for every line item for the last 38 months divided by 38 to give you our monthly average. Here is the 14 or 15 line items we broke all of our expenses down into, so you can just follow along. I might skip some of the details, but you can read it here quite plainly. So let's go ahead and start. We drove the month of July, we drove 999 miles. We moved 4 times. We moved from Elko, Nevada up to Burns, Oregon, where we bought fuel. We stayed overnight. It was a little truck stop. From Burns, Oregon, we went over to Bend, Oregon, and stayed one night, and then drove over to the coast to stay at Whaler's Rest, 1,000 Trails Park, for a couple of weeks. And then we came back to Bend. We spent 27 nights in 1,000 Trails campground. Real quick, we're a member of 1,000 Trails, and with that membership, 1,000 Trails owns 81 parks, and we get to stay for free in those 81 parks. So 27 nights we stayed in 1,000 Trails. 4 nights we stayed outside of 1,000 Trails. 3 of those was at our grandson's in Elko, and then 1 night we spent in that truck stop. These columns here I'll go over in just a second. They'll be a little bit more obvious. So for diesel, what it costs to run our RV, most of that is driving, but if we run our generator to produce electricity while we're going down the road, that's where we use our air conditioners and stuff, by running our generator. We spent $612. So for the last 12 months, we've spent $3,267. We averaged $272 a month for this year, and for the last 3 years, we've averaged $335 a month on diesel fuel. For campsites, we had no expenses on campsites other than our annual dues. We purchased our 1,000 Trails membership, and that's paid for, but we pay annual dues of $643. So we divide that $643 by 12, and we allocate $54 a month. As you can see, for the last 12 months, we've averaged $264, and since expenses for campgrounds, and in the last 3 years we averaged $262. So it runs right at $250 a month we spend on campground fees, because sometimes we stay outside of 1,000 Trails, KOAs or whatever. So now let's bounce back up to these numbers. Diesel fuel cost per night, this month we averaged $19.74 a day, or a night. For the last 12 months we've averaged $8.93. And since we've been on the road, we've averaged $11 a day for diesel fuel. And this number's proved pretty consistent. We averaged 50 cents per mile driven for diesel fuel for the last 12 months. And for the last 38 months, we've spent 48 cents per mile on diesel fuel. And then campsite fees, we've averaged for the last 12 months $8.64 a night for campsite fees. Most of that is just our 1,000 Trails dues. And $8.60 a night for the last 3 years. So about $8.50 a night for campsites, and $8.90 a day for diesel fuel. So hopefully that makes sense. Motorhome repairs. Our RV registration expired in July. Really expired in August, but we paid it in July, $661 to register the motorhome in Nevada. one of our air conditioner shrouds up on the roof totally deteriorated. We had to get a new shroud. It was $110, and then we got some radiator hose for the diesel engine. This year we paid $7,700 in maintenance and repairs, and the license plates for the coach had averaged $640 a month, and for the last 3 years $786. Automobile gas repairs, tags and stuff, $106 in gasoline, and then we had the car washed a couple times for $22. Our insurance for our RV and our car, we have dropped our umbrella policy. We've got rid of our full-time RVers insurance because we purchased a home a couple of months ago for winter, where we'll park the RV in the winter, and so we just have regular RV insurance. And we lowered our limits just a little bit. We may increase those back up. I'm not totally comfortable with that, but our RV insurance went down to $871 a year, and our auto insurance is $839 a year. Add those two up, divide by 12, that's $143 a month for insurance. Our insurance is through Allstate. We've had Allstate for 30-something years, except for the last 3 years while we were full-timing, and now we've gone back to Allstate. We had an accident about 9 months ago. I backed into a pole. We were with Progressive. They were $1,500 for full-timers insurance. They raised that up to $2,500. So we dropped Progressive and went back to Allstate. Groceries, liquor, cleaning, paper supplies, everything we buy in a grocery store. So it's a lot more than food included in here. It's $871. And we averaged $918 for the last 12 months and $890 for groceries the last 36 months. Dining out, we've only dined out 2 or 3 times in July. We average about a little over $200 the last 12 months and $250 since we started our RV adventure. Internet and cell phones, we have 2 cell phones. We have a little hotspot, all from Verizon, and a smartwatch. So that runs us $209 a month and gives us unlimited internet. DirecTV is $24. We're on a little special with DirecTV. So that went down for a year, but it'll go back up next winter. Medical, $652. This one's kind of interesting. We had learned a little something this month. But this is all Medicare for our Part B, Part D, and our Medigap insurance Plan G to cover what Medicare doesn't cover. But Pearl needed light medications so she can deal with me. But her prescriptions ran out. We didn't have a doctor here. Generally, we just go to an urgent care or something like that. Medicare will pay for it, and we get a new prescription, but it's usually only good for a month or 2. But Pearl found a thing on the internet. It's called Call on Doc, and you fill out a form on the internet. You show a picture of your current prescriptions. You fill out a little bit of information. Some doctor reviews it, and then he gives you a new prescription. He gave her a new 6-month prescription, and it cost $80. That's not covered by Medicare, but at least she didn't have to waste a half a day down at the urgent care place. So Call on Doc, and then ZocDoc is what we use to find doctors when we're out traveling around. Pet care, nothing. Recreation and hobby, we went out, rented some jet skis and kayaks and paddle boards and all that kind of stuff, and we chipped in for the gas for the jet skis. And that's about it. Computer hardware, some cables for our portable power station, nothing for clothes. Our mail we have sent to our grandson Alex's house in Elko, and then his wife Nicole, she gets all that, scans us copies, and mails us what we need. We obviously we pay for that mailing and stuff. Thanks, Nicole, very much. So here's our totals: $3,800 for the month. For the last 12 months, $45,000. For the last, since we've been on the road, we've averaged $49,000. So basically, $45,000 to $50,000 is about what we're running. I mentioned we purchased a home, and we're going to start including those expenses. And that's just basically here our property taxes, our home insurance, pest control. We're not in the city of Yuma, we're just outside of Yuma, in rural Yuma. So we have to pay a membership to the fire department because our property taxes doesn't cover for fire service. And then maintenance and repairs. We leave the electricity on, but we set the thermostat at 93 degrees, I think. The water we leave on. We've got a drip system for those cactus. Internet so we can watch our cameras. Trash disposal, we just canceled that. And gas service. So here's those expenses. In June it was $711. This month it's $644. Averaging for the 2 months $688. Our annual expense for our home in Yuma is right now running $8,000. That'll go up a little bit when we start living there. We'll be there probably 4 or 5 months a year. That pretty much covers it. I hope that information gives you a place to start. If you want a copy of this spreadsheet, you're thinking about this lifestyle, we'll put our email right here. If you want to send me an email, and I'll send you a copy of it's really our 2018. It's from January to December. And there was no big emergencies or no big expenses that month, just kind of average numbers to give you an idea. And then if you click down here at the bottom, there's another tab, and it's a blank spreadsheet. So you can plug in your own numbers and work on building your budget to see if you can make your finances work for this lifestyle. So if you want a copy of that, send us an email. It's boborpearl@gmail.com, and we'll send you out a copy. Sometimes it takes a week or two. I don't check that email every day, but check it periodically, and then I'll send those out. So hopefully these numbers help you build your budget, help you decide if you can live this RV lifestyle. We love it. We think it's great, and we enjoy sharing that information. So until we see you guys again next time, keep the wheels rolling. Stay safe. We'll see you at the next exit. So long, folks.